Okay, so it is one day in the middle of the week because I never know what day it is anymore with with since COVID hit. But I'm actually honored to have this extra time with Lexi Day. I've had the pleasure to have known her since it's been since fourth or fifth grade,
I
Lexi.
think fifth.
Fifth
Fifth, yeah.
grade, yeah. And you're a junior now, finishing up your junior year in high school, so you're going to be a 2021 graduate. And I've had the honor to see you compete since that fifth grade year, and some very competitive teams. And today is about you. Today is about you sharing your thoughts and your experiences with those who are watching, because you really are considering that next step in your journey to compete in college and find the right fit for you academically, and potentially athletically. So we wanted to give you an opportunity to share a little bit about who you are and your personality and what makes Lexi be so successful. So Lexi, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, I consider myself a very outgoing person. Like, I'm not one to be known as shy. I like to stay busy. I like to work out, ski in the winter, ski in the summer, hang out with my family, be with friends a lot, play basketball, play volleyball. So,
So you're a pretty athletic person.
mhm.
Yeah, and it's not just in basketball. I know that you actually have some experience competing nationally in another sport. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. A couple years ago, I did BMX, and it's like definitely one of the most intense sports that I've done. And it's not very well known, but it's really fun. And I got to compete, like you said, in national events and race girls from all across the country and even the world in some cases. And I did that for about 4 or 5 years, I think. And it was just a really fun experience.
Yeah, how would you say that's a little different than basketball?
Well, it's
Besides
you have
riding a
to
bike.
Yeah. Well, it's more of an individual sport. Like you can be a part of a team, but you all are racing individually. You're just wearing the same jersey. But it's definitely different. Like when you're not on a court, it's usually outside. You have to wear a lot more protective gear. Like you're not wearing a helmet in basketball or knee pads and well, I guess knee pads, but elbow pads and race shoes and stuff. But so it's definitely fun, but definitely different than basketball.
Yeah. So with basketball, you started to focus. What I remember about you when you were younger, and still you do this today, you have a pretty intense work ethic and very consistent. Tell us a little bit about where you developed that work ethic from and why you continue to implement that in your daily life.
I think I've just developed it mainly, I want to say from my mom, just because she set me to such high standards from such a young age and keeps on pushing me to do well in school and do well in sports. And I think that's just school has carried over into the basketball setting. So I definitely think that me pushing myself academically is helping me sports wise.
Mhm. And but you ended up cutting back on that BMX racing nationally. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure with the time constraints, you had to figure out where you're going to put most of your time between to stay balanced academically and athletically. Why did you decide to put the majority of your focus for athletics in the basketball? So I guess why do you love basketball?
Well, I like it mainly because I get to play a sport that I've been playing for a long time with some of my best friends, especially in high school. I've made a lot of really good friends, and being able to play with them is makes the sport so much more fun. And I think just being a part of a team was something that was lacking in BMX that I just really like doing. And I like being able to work with my teammates and get stuff done together rather than by myself. And I just think it's so much fun to be active and compete at the same time versus just not like working out at home is different than playing a game. Like, yes, working out at home, you get to like be active and stay in shape, but being able to play at the same time and having that like competition aspect is really fun for me.
Yeah, I think you definitely hit it on the head. It's you can practice a ton, but it sure is nice when you have that goal in mind, and you're ready to compete. It's something that you get to work towards, and so it makes your training time that much more meaningful. And you actually, I know you experienced some tough training under Coach Celeste Stratka at Hortonville, and I know she's a tough coach and she demands a lot out of her players. And like your mom, she sets the expectation high, but she has helped you over the last 3 years be very successful in many ways. How do you feel? What are some things that you've learned from Coach Celeste or just over the years as you've been playing basketball?
Um, well, I've learned a lot about how certain like life lessons can be seen through sports. Like obviously the idea of like being a leader and being a part of a team that can play into like the workforce, and you're always most likely going to be working with other people and having to do stuff together and communicate and work well with each other to get the job done, which can be something that is very emphasized on the basketball court. It's not an individual sport, that's for sure. But I think one of the most important things that I've learned from Coach Celeste, and just as I've continued to play basketball, and something that I emphasize a lot for myself, is trusting the journey and like always remembering that it's about the process, not the destination, and just remembering to trust the process. And it's going to be hard, and you're going to find difficulties, but you just got to remember that it's all about the journey.
Yeah, absolutely. It sure is about the journey because we don't necessarily know what's going to be coming next, just like we're experiencing in life now.
Hmm.
So how with that knowledge and understanding, how are you implementing that life concept today when we don't know or when we're going to be able to get back on the court and compete? How are you dealing with that emotionally and physically right now at home?
I think that it's become one of my biggest motivators, honestly. Like, there's times when I'm just laying in my bed and I'm like, oh, I could just keep laying here forever. I got nothing to do. But I think just thinking about like when we are done with this and when this is over, it's gonna obviously not be the same, but we're gonna eventually be back playing. And I think that I just got to keep that in mind. That it's all about the journey and just working every day to get better, even if there is no destination, so to speak, right now. And just like what happened with the cancellation of the WIAA tournament, like we worked hard all season to get there, and then it was just taken away from us right like so quickly. So I think that it was kind of ironic that we were stressing it all year, that to trust the journey and it's not about the destination. But definitely it's been a big motivator of mine throughout this whole pandemic. So
Yeah, because truly, whatever comes your way, every single day you're getting stronger. And everything that you're working on, you can apply to whatever does come your way. So whether or not there's basketball after high school, whether or not there's that state tournament, you're going to take those life skills and definitely be able to apply them. And one thing I want to ask you about that next step and that next journey that you're looking to do in college is what's your major you're looking to get into? You're a 4.0 a student. So,
mhm.
and when we went through how many AP courses you've taken and are planning on finishing next year, I ran out of fingers on both hands to figure out like what there was so many AP classes. You're pretty special and unique in uh, in your work ethic at home, not just on the court. So, with that said, what are you looking to get into when you plan to go to college?
So I'm pretty passionate about like the medical field and human anatomy, that sort of thing. So I'm looking at majoring in biology or pre-med, because I've just, after taking my first class freshman year, I think think it was like health careers or something, just an intro to the health field. And I've just like fallen in love with learning about that and ever since freshman year. So I definitely have been looking more into careers recently, and I found some interest in a physician assistant or some sort of surgeon, because I think that the concept of surgery is really cool, and I think that orthopedic surgery is really cool. So those are definitely two of my top career choices as of right now.
Yeah, and you see the absolute need because you had some personal experience when you got injured in the last couple
Mhm.
years. What happened with you during that time? What kind of injury did you sustain?
Yeah, so I was in a practice, I think it was a Sunday practice, and we were just doing a simple layup drill, just, the two-line layups. And
Oh,
my, one, I know, one of my teammates and I went at the same time. I don't know why we did that. We were supposed to be alternating, but we ended up just going at the same time. And we both shot our layups, and then as we were both coming down, she like ran into my leg and it like hyperextended, my knee did. And then I ended up partially tearing my LCL and my hamstring. And then that set me out for like 6 weeks, I think, 6 or 7.
but you had the fortunate opportunity to get some good physical therapy and come back from that even stronger because this year you were pretty amazing on the court. When I watched you and the Hortonville team, and even last year in the summertime as well. So actually, over every AAU season, you've been pretty stellar. What would you say that your strengths are that you bring to a team? What is it about Lexi Day that can impact, influence any team that you're a part of?
Yeah, so I think like skill-wise, some of the things that I emphasize a lot are my shooting, just because I've been focusing on that since 5th grade and getting better at that. So three-point shooting definitely is one of my strong suits, I think. I have been relying a lot on my defense, and I emphasize it a lot this year for our high school season. And I've just been trying to like become more dependable on defense and be someone that you can always trust to play solid defense. So that's definitely been one of the focuses of my year so far. And then I also think that making big plays when our team needs them is something that I've become better at. So like responding, I guess, when if a team makes a big play, I've found myself able to respond to those and bring a play when my team needs it.
Yeah.
And then I think personal qualities wise, I think that I'm really good at bringing a teammate with me. So if I'm full of energy, I'm able to bring people along with me and have them be energetic also. So I think that me bringing energy is a big factor into every team that I'm a part of because of how outgoing I find my personality to be. So I've just found that my personality carries over onto the court a lot. So I'm always having fun and smiling and bringing my energy as much as I can.
Yeah, that is so imperative because I'm sure you've seen how positive energy and negative energy both can impact a team. But when you're a
Mhm.
positive person, you can raise up the entire energy level of the team and influence whether people believe whether or not you can overcome the obstacle that you're facing in that moment. And that's where momentum comes from teams because they choose not to give up and they believe that they can face those adversities and definitely overcome them. So I just love that about you. You're consistent in that respect, not just on the court offensively, defensively, but in your attitude as well. Love it. Love it. Uh, so here's an interesting question. You shared a little bit about yourself. What about what do you look for in your team from teammates? What kind of culture do you want to be a part of? Whether that's on a basketball court or volleyball court, or one day as an orthopedic surgeon, you're going to be part of a team of surgeons. You're going to have the nurse with you,
Mhm.
the anesthesiologist. Uh, so, what do you look for from teammates?
I think the biggest thing for me is the idea of a family, and just like having that environment is so important to me because I've been a part of both sides of the environment, I guess. And definitely when you're more connected and together and on the same page, no drama, no, everyone's on the same page and everyone has the same goal in mind. That's just what I found best for me. And I definitely think that the idea of family is the biggest thing that I look for in a team.
Absolutely. Excellent. And you come from a very strong family background with parents who like love you and do absolutely anything for you. And I know that they're always there. And it's extended. It's not just your parents. You have an extended family. So you've really had a great experience, a model of what a healthy family could look like, which is pretty cool, which is neat and special. Let's ask some pretty fun questions here. What are some of your do you have a special pre-game ritual?
Yeah, I do. For both volleyball and basketball, I find a Sharpie wherever I can find one. Usually it consists of me asking about 4 different people in the hallways or people running the game or whatever it may be, but I
You are
always have to find
there,
one because I never bring one with me ever. I don't
even
know
though
why.
you
I just
yeah, even though you know you
make
need it,
sure I
right?
do it. Yeah. Even though I use it every game, but I always write an acronym on my shoe. And for basketball, it's FAT, F-A-T-T, and for volleyball, it's CASH, K-A-S-H.
Okay.
And I don't know. I started doing it volleyball season of I think last year, so sophomore year, and I've just done it ever since.
Do you want to explain what those mean? Do you have meanings behind each of those letters and the acronyms?
Yes. So for volleyball, the the
Fair.
K is
This is PG, right?
I'll keep it PG. So
Okay.
if I made it PG, it'd be KBSH. It's kick butt swing hard for volleyball
Okay.
because I'm a right side hitter. So swinging hard just always something I focus on. And
Yeah.
then for basketball, it's fat and that means finish at the top. Just because I've had a problem with like especially free throws, my follow through is whack sometimes on my free throws. So it's been a focus of mine to finish at the top. So
Love it. Love it. Well, you definitely make up for it elsewhere if it doesn't always finish pretty. So love that. I have another couple questions for you before we wrap things up. So if you were stranded on an island, who would you want it to be with if you only had a choice of one person?
definitely my mom, because my mom is not only my mom and the best mom ever, don't get me wrong, but she's also like one of my best friends and just someone that we've become a lot closer over the last couple of years. And that bond with my mom is just something that'll never go away. And I'm so thankful for her. And so definitely I'd pick my mom to come with me on that island. I think it would be fun.
Oh, yeah, she's wonderful. I know her. I know her well. She's a sweetheart, and I know she's loads of fun, like you said. If you were going to be famous, what would you be famous for?
Probably singing. I do sing a lot. I will sing even and I won't even realize that I'm singing and my mom will ask me why I'm singing and in the shower, in the car, in my room, I sing all the time. So
Oh, that's great. That's great. Yeah, and I've always experienced because I was a singer myself, and
Mhm.
it's a great way to release any negative energy and to be able to hold those tunes and those notes and really ponder on the words. I think it's a healing thing as well, in a deep, expressive way, but also in a fun way too. So, and I know you got to have a pretty voice. What about uh, who's your favorite team? We just, Michael Jordan was just, his documentary just kicked off the other night. Uh, would you say that Michael Jordan is your favorite athlete of all time, or would you have somebody else?
um my it's not Michael Jordan actually. My favorite athlete is probably Steph Curry.
Okay.
I I've loved Steph Curry for as long as I can remember and I love the way that he is on the court. I love the way he plays. I love the way he's coachable. I love the way he coaches his teammates. I love the person that he is off the court. I love his family, his daughters. Like I love his life, and I
There you
don't know.
go.
I really look up to him.
That's cool. Why do you look up to him? What's one quality about him you feel that you just connects with you?
I honestly think it's like the family that he's created, and I just love the concept of family and seeing the way that his family is portrayed online and just the way that him and his wife are. I don't know. that's how I want to be when I grow up. So I
Awesome.
just really look up to that.
Great, great. So we're gonna come to a close. So I'm gonna ask you one final question. It's been tough for a lot of people during this COVID experience. A lot of people are at home, lost jobs, lost loved ones, lost opportunities and memories. You actually personally, I feel have lost some special times or memories just in your journey in the past between, going from one club to another. And I'm just so excited that you're back with us at Blaze because I think as you've probably experienced, we are a family here, and I love you like you're my daughter. It just makes me want to cry when I ever think that I would ever lose an athlete, because it's not losing somebody who's a basketball player, it's losing somebody who I love. And I'm so thankful that you're back with us this year. So people who have lost loved ones, lost their jobs, lost their opportunities as an athlete, what positive thing would you want to share with them to get through this time?
I think that I would share just trying to spend as much time with your family as possible, because I think that a lot of people take it for granted when you're able to go out and leave your house all the time. And I think that, especially me, like family time is something that I've always like cherished. And sometimes my mom and I have to force it upon my dad and brother, but it's
They
especially
probably
during
want to
now,
hear
I
all the
think.
talking. They want to go fishing or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, I just think that family time is something that everyone should be focused on right now, and because a lot of people take it for granted. So I think now's a perfect time to like build the bond with your family and spend time with each other and learn things about them that you didn't know before. So I think that that's something important during this time.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Lexi, for taking this time to share your heart and your mind, your strengths, your experiences, things that are special with you, and what you're looking to accomplish in the future. And, we're looking to get back to the court as a team and as a family soon.
Mhm.
And I'm staying positive. I know we're going to get back to the game. We're going to have a season. It may look a little different, but we're going to be ready, right? We're going to be ready when it happens.
Mhm.
So I appreciate the time and all your energy and your consistency through it all. So thank you for always being the blaze and being a light, sweetheart.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. You take care.
You too, Lisa.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to find out why Lexi Day is extraordinary. She's a 5'8" shooting guard out of Hortonville, Wisconsin, with the graduating class of 2021. You can follow her on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Sports Recruits, and Field Level. She also has a personal page at wisconsinblaze.com/Lexi Day. Again, that's wisconsinblaze.com/LEXIDAY. My name is Lisa Van Wyk with Blaze Sports and Fitness and Wisconsin Blaze. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.